if we just make friends instead?
It's time to come on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine. The South Park, the Stick of Truth. That did sound better in my head, I must admit. In the Stick of Truth, you play as your own created character who is only known throughout the game as the Kid, or douchebag if you're speaking to Cartman. A new arrival to the town, destined to recover the aforementioned Stick of Truth, and in turn save the town from an oncoming destruction.
Grand Wizard must get to the new kid.
Sir.
South Park has always been a tough franchise to adapt into video game form. From Acclaim's obsession from turning it into 3D in the late 90s, to the more minigame obsessed attempts a decade later. It's always been hard to marry the visual look of the show with the confines of a video game itself, and the Stick of Truth does a fairly decent attempt at it. The game is absolutely 100% in the style of the show, from the paper textures of the background to the choppy walking animation of the legless children. At first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was an episode from the show. And it's absolutely littered with cameos and references to characters and events from throughout its history. So the hardcore fans will be going, "Ooh, it's what's his name from, that episode." One of the real issues I have with the game is they concentrated way too much on the jokes and setting of the game and not on the actual turn-based battles, which suffer from issues that other turn-based RPGs sorted out 20 years ago. Such as, if you have a multiple hit attack and it kills the enemy after the first strike, you still have to use the other attacks on the defeated enemy instead of using them on others. And there is also no way to skip a turn. So if you have a character that only uses melee attacks and the only enemy remaining is one that counters them, you still have to attack them with the melee attack and get hurt in the process instead of skipping.
Fuck you!
Like I said, these are issues that were rectified in other turn-based RPGs over 2 decades ago. So to see them rear that ugly head again really shows a sad sloppiness in the game, especially as a huge majority of the game is in this mode. The other thing that irks me is why they go into great depth for showing you how to correctly time attacks and blocks. They say absolutely nothing about how to level up your character's traits. The game would occasionally remind me that I had points to level up with, but never gave any indication as to how. So a lot of my time was spent fishing through menus, trying to find something. If you haven't noticed yet, I've yet to mention the giant EU-shaped censorship elephant in the room. And to be honest, it's an absolute travesty. They make light of the deleted scenes by showing the EU flag next to Michelangelo's David, but the Stick of Truth is an 18-rated game, so why censor a game aimed for and only for sale to adults? At the age of 18, I'm allowed to buy alcohol, buy cigarettes, have sex, drive a car, gamble, and even get married, yet I can't see risky scenes from a video game adaptation from an adult cartoon. It is absolutely pathetic, and I hope a patch occurs as it does actually subtract from the game. Though as the scenes aren't physically on the disc as to avoid another hot coffee, this seems unlikely. So if you want to see this game uncensored, either get it on import or get the PC version, which isn't censored for some reason. But censorship aside, South Park The Stick of Truth is finally the game that true South Park fans have craved for. People less familiar with the show may find the game rather confusing with the constant bombardment of references, and the RPG hardcore will laugh at the rather archaic schoolboy errors that the RPG side of the game has. So if you're a South Park fan that's not too fussed about RPGs, you'll definitely enjoy the Stick of Truth. I'm super ethereal. And if you don't like South Park, just pretend it's a remake of Earthbound.
Give me the Stick of Truth. Take it from me if you can, Wizard King. Step forward now and fulfill your Step forward now and fulfill your Step forward now and fulfill your 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 destiny.